I'm Joker. This channel is about the history and culture of Japan. I would be happy if you could understand a little bit about Japan by watching this video. If you have a topic that interests you even a little bit about Japanese culture or history, please leave it in the comments section. Getting comments from everyone will be the driving force behind the creation of the video. Today's topic is why did Tokyo become the capital of Japan? Have you ever been to Tokyo? Tokyo is now one of the most popular tourist cities in Japan, but until the 17th century it was not a city that played an important role. This situation was changed by the arrival of a man. That man was Ieyasu Tokugawa. Ieyasu Tokugawa is one of the most successful samurai in Japan's history and is an integral part of the country's history. Edo Castle, a popular tourist spot in Japan, is where Ieyasu spent his last years, and Nikko Tashago Shrine in Nikko, a World Heritage Site, enshrines Ieyasu as a god. There are many other tourist spots related to Ieyasu, and he is loved by people all over Japan. This section will introduce why Ieyasu decided to come to Tokyo and what his life was like. If you are interested in the history of Ieyasu's career from 1333 to 1600, please watch this video. So, let's start Japan history travel. Ieyasu was born at Okazaki Castle on January 31, 1543, the eldest son of the 8th head of the Matsudaira clan, Hirotada Matsudaira. The Matsudaira clan was not a powerful one, so Ieyasu had to establish good relations with the Oda clan in Owari, Nagaya, and the Imagawa clan in Tsuruga, Shizuoka. In 1547, Ieyasu became a hostage of the Oda clan and spent 2 years in Owari. With the death of his father, Hirotada, in 1549, he moved from the Oda clan to the Imagawa clan and participated in many battles as a member of the Imagawa clan. In 1560, his lord Imagawa Yoshimoto was defeated by Oda Nobunaga at the Battle of Okihazuma. Ieyasu took this opportunity to try to gain independence from the Imagawa family. The Battle of Okihazuma was a symbolic battle for Oda Nobunaga, one of the most charismatic figures of the Warring States period, who later called himself the 6th Demon King, and was a giant-killing battle like Porto vs Manchester United in the 2003-04 UEFA Champions League. In 1561, he formed an alliance with this Demon King, Oda Nobunaga, to ensure independence from the Imagawa family. Thereafter, Ieyasu took military action to fully support Nobunaga's unification of Japan, and achieved many victories. In 1572, Takeda Shingen, the most powerful man in the Warring States period, made a move to prevent Nobunaga from unifying Japan. Takeda Shingen marched to Mikawa, Ieyasu's territory, and passed by Ieyasu's Hamamatsu castle in order to lure Ieyasu. Initially, Ieyasu had planned to fight a siege, but he could not stand idly by and watch the Takeda army pass in front of him, so he hastily changed his strategy to an aggressive attack and led a combined force with reinforcements from Oda to pursue them from Hamamatsu Castle. Takeda's troops were waiting for him in a fish-scale formation, ready to attack. Ieyasu took up a crane wing formation and the two armies began to fight. However, the allied forces were forced to open the war in a disadvantageous position and were defeated by Takeda's forces, and the allied forces were destroyed with many generals killed in battle. As the Tokugawa forces were destroyed one by the Takeda forces, Ieyasu himself was cornered and managed to escape back to Hamamatsu Castle with many of his retainers in his place. This defeat is said to be the biggest crisis of his life. When Ieyasu arrived at Hamamatsu Castle, he opened all the gates and lit a bonfire to create a so-called empty castle. It is said that he ate some boiled rice and fell asleep snoring. It is said that all the soldiers were relieved to see Ieyasu regaining his composure. Masakage Yamakan's troops, who had pursued him to Hamamatsu Castle, hesitated to enter the castle because they were alarmed by his plan to empty the castle and pulled out. Ieyasu suffered the biggest defeat of his life, but the Takeda army was later forced to retreat due to the death of their general, Shingen. Weakened by Shingen's death, the Takeda army was repeatedly attacked by the combined forces of Oda and Tokugawa and perished. With the fall of the Takeda clan, the strongest in the Warring States period, Oda Nobunaga's unification of Japan became almost certain. This was the long-cherished wish of Ieyasu, who was allied with Oda Nobunaga. Both of them must have been looking forward to the unification of Japan. However, a major incident occurred here. Nobunaga was killed by Akaki Mitsuhide, a vassal of the Oda family. This was the Hanaji incident. At that time, Ieyasu was accompanied by only a small number of people, including his own sons and daughters, so he was in an extremely dangerous situation. However, Tadakatsu Hondo persuaded him to change his mind, and with the advice of Hanzo Hattori, he crossed the steep mountain roads of Iga province and barely made it back to Mikawa province. This Hattori Hanzo is a ninja and has been used as a model in many anime. It's time for today's Japanese manga. Today's Japanese manga is Naruto. Naruto is one of the most famous manga about ninjas in the world, and it has been made into anime, movies, and products that are loved by people all over the world. The first manga I ever bought was Naruto. It's a great manga about friendship and family love, and it's one of the manga I would want my kids to read if I became a parent. What is your favorite manga? Please comment. If you're at all interested in this book, please buy it. In During the Oda regime after Nobunaga's death, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, an Oda vassal, rose to prominence and recommended Oda Hideyoshi as the next head of the family. On the other hand, Ieyasu joined forces with Nobuo Oda, the second son of Nobunaga, and the two became opposed to each other. This battle was a very famous confrontation like Kobe vs Lebron. In 1584, the battle took place in Kawaki Nagakute. Although there were some skirmishes, there was no full-scale conflict between the Toyotomi and Tokugawa armies, and as a result, the two sides made peace. Although Ieyasu's side had a slight advantage in the battle, Hideyoshi's genius for humanizing people gave him the upper hand in the post-war peace talks, and the various forces that Ieyasu had supported were subjugated to Hideyoshi. In 1586, Ieyasu, who had succumbed to Hideyoshi's repeated demands for vassalage, finally pledged his allegiance to Hideyoshi. In 1590, Hideyoshi, who felt threatened by Ieyasu, confiscated 5 of Ieyasu's territories, including Mikawa province, and gave him Musashi province and Sagami province instead. This land became Edo, the center of the Edo shogunate, which lasted for 250 years from 1600 and continued on to modern Tokyo. That's it for this edition of Japan History Travel. I hope you have learned how Tokyo became the capital of Japan. In the next article, I'll introduce you to some of the best sightseeing spots in modern Tokyo. Tokyo is one of the most attractive tourist spots in Japan, with many tourist facilities in a city that combines tradition and cutting edge. We will also continue to introduce the history of Japan and its relationship with culture. If you found this video interesting, please give it a high rating and subscribe to our channel. I hope you enjoy it. See you again.